Man, you didn't even look at... Oh, of course you didn't, because you're just going to have everyone step out of the way and play this the most ridiculous way possible.
I'm going to have... Actually...
I'll crush them all.
I can't wait until I get to do my Three Houses Black Eagles playthrough on my channel coming up in March, purely so that I can play the game instead of having to see how you do it.
Who, me?
Oh, it makes me want to throw up sometimes.
That's like a part of why I thought this would be fun. Because I got to do a thing where I sat and watched how you play the game, and I was like, well, now you can see how I do it. I'm just drawing them close. Oh yeah, this is gonna be over in like no time.
Over already.
Be over even faster if you like moved your units to the enemies instead of being like, let's take an extra 2 turns to let them all walk to me. You'd also get to pick who gets these kills instead of all of them dying to Dimitri.
Well, that's why I just put the I put like the people that I didn't mind if they got experience in the line of fire. I mean, I'd let the enemy choose, but still, it didn't really matter if Dimitri got a kill over Ash or Catherine or whatever. See, oh yeah, Net needs to get involved as well. Oh,
Yeah, good time to stride.
actually, probably should have rallied there. Not that it matters.
I'm on it.
Trying to think, I was like, are any of these? Is it just? Wow. Okay, there's a few more units than I thought. A part of it was like, do I bother actually moving everybody up? But yeah, I guess I will. Oh, I have to get to the point where he's just killing everybody.
That was tough.
I need more units that can't kill everybody, so that way Annette can get a chance to get kills. Oh, poor Annette. Maybe Sylvain won't kill. Perfect. Well, perfect? I don't think Annette can do 12. Perfect. Necessary. Ooh, riding's at B. I don't get anything for B rank riding. That's rude. Wait, not there. Or yeah, up here. Perfect.
That worked out.
All right, just gain like 5 strength. Also, I have a bunch of stat ups I didn't use. I forgot about those. I should use them. Oh, actually, there.
Did you see I did my first top 10 video?
I did. I watched it.
Did you watch it?
I did.
Oh, look at that. You didn't leave a comment telling me your top 10 Mega Level Digimon. What's up with that? I specifically requested that people leave their lists.
I don't know. I didn't. I'm not a big commenter.
This guy.
But also, I'm such a fake Digimon fan. I feel like most of the ones that you talked about, I was like, I don't even know what that is.
Dude, you have no idea. There were people who were going way deeper cut than me in the comments.
Yeah, I had to.
Like,
I had to think about it.
Like, you say you're a fake. I'm not like. I think that my picks were totally legitimate.
Yeah,
but,
yeah,
like,
yeah, no, absolutely.
the only out there. The only pick on my list that I would say is like out there, like people would be like, I'm sorry, who? Was Zed Millenniumon. Everyone else was, the other 9 are pretty like well known. They've been used in multiple games, anime, etc.
Yeah, you saying that, I was like, I watched the video and I still don't know like what that is. Or who that is.
Zed Millenniumon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll get the print.
He's a bit of a deep cut for Digimon fans.
Yeah, I think I actually was trying to think of. Sorry, go ahead.
There were some on my short list that were more deep cuts, and but I ended up not doing them because they just didn't make it at the end.
Yeah.
Actually, I lucked out a little bit. All but 2 of my options were in Cyber Sleuth, which made getting footage way easier because then the other ones just needed Digimon World DS.
Oh yeah,
or Digimon World Dawn and Dusk. I don't think there was any Digimon. There might have been like 1 Digimon on my short list that I just would not have had a good option for.
Is what I do.
But that one didn't end up on the list, so it wasn't a problem.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because I didn't really play through any of those games. But yeah, I remember I was trying to think of like, I was like, what would my like top 10 be? And I don't even know if I could think of 10 of them. Like, the first ones that even came to mind, just as, like, a short list was, oh gosh, like, Metal Seedramon, I think it was a Mega, like, Phoenixmon? Hercules Kabuterimon? Like, those are the ones that immediately come to mind for me. And there's probably some more obvious ones, maybe like Metal Garurumon.
This man is the Digimon equivalent of a Gen 1er, and he's not going to say War Greymon or Metal Garurumon?
Yeah, I was working, my brain was working backwards.
Phoenixmon and Hercules Kabuterimon are megas of, like, the 01 cast. Yeah.
Yeah, although, I actually specifically remember, Hercules Kabuterimon was one I remember having a Digimon card. That's why I kind of actually, like, it's still a very nostalgic pick, but not for the reason that it's, like, an adventure one. I just remember having a card, and I just, like...
Yeah, well, I mean, it didn't show up in Adventure, it just, they added them in the movies. Because in the original Adventure, only War Greymon and Metal Garurumon got to go Mega.
Yeah. Yeah, and the Megas didn't even show up in the movies like for so long either. It was annoying.
In the movies? What are you talking about?
Did you say that they came out in the movies or whatever? Or
oh, the Adventure ones, yeah. When they did Tree.
Yeah.
Try, have you
it was Try, yeah. I
always say Tree for some reason when I see TRI. Just Try.
No, because I watched those and I mean they're not very good, but I'm pretty sure the Megas.
I still haven't watched them.
Don't even. Did they actually all come out in that movie? Or in the like? If they did, it was.
Well, I mean,
the
Megas
like,
existing and them having been the option for being their Megas like existed beforehand.
Yes,
but that was the first time that cast got their Megas.
Yes.
When you first started talking, I thought you were saying that Digimon movies in general did not have Megas.
No.
I'm like, pretty much every movie has Megas of varying.
Yeah. So no, I was. I didn't explain it well. I meant like the actual. Yeah. Because then I don't actually remember which ones happened in Try, and then. I'm mixing that with them. Yeah, so
in Try, it was all of them. It was the first time for all of them except for obviously Metal Garurumon and War Greymon. And it was actually I didn't watch the film, so I don't know exactly how it went, but it would have been the second time for Kari and TK. Because they had the O2 movie where they... Although I think they switched Kari to Ophanimon in Try.
Yeah, I think it was a different Mega.
Seraphimon and Magnadramon, which was Gatomon's original Mega, were in the O2 movie way back when.
Okay. Gosh, did I watch the O2 movie? I feel like I probably did, but why do I not remember that?
Did you watch our War Game with Diaboromon?
Oh, right, yeah, because it, like, combines.
Yeah, and in the West, they combined them.
Yes,
so yes
that's why. Did. Okay, that's why I was like, the O2 movie. I was like, okay, that's just the Digimon movie I know.
Yeah, I actually, I also watched it like that growing up, because that's how it was presented, but I actually differentiate our War Game and that O2 movie, because I know they're not the same. Did you know that they actually changed, they added translation stuff to our War Game to make it seem like those two movies were connected?
Oh, really?
Yeah, so when you watch the dub version of our War Game, they have this moment where Willis, I don't know if you remember who Willis is. He's the guy who has Wendigomon, Lotmon, as his partner in the O2 movie.
Yep.
Yeah. They have it where Willis emails Izzy during our War Game to say, this is my fault, I'm sorry, slow down Diaboromon to beat him. And they have a line where Diaboromon, I think it's when he's not Diaboromon yet, but he's Inframon, and Inframon says, I'm looking for the programmer, don't interfere. And they also have a moment where they say, oh, he's launched a missile. One of them is aiming for Ty's house. The other one is aiming for where Willis lives in America. That doesn't happen in the sub.
Right.
In the original.
Oh, okay.
Any mention of Willis, Diaboromon only shoots, the missile at Ty. He does not shoot one at Willis. He doesn't mention a programmer. Willis does not email Izzy or anything like that.
Yeah.
When they dubbed it and put them together, they were like, oh, let's make Diaboromon be looking for Willis or something, because then it looks like these movies are connected, even though they're not in any way.
Yeah. I remember when I watched it when I was younger. I don't remember, how old I was when I watched it, but I remember... the part where it felt like it just became a completely different movie. I'm just like, why does it feel like it becomes a completely different movie? That's such a weird transition. And yeah, it's because it was.
It's because it was, because our War Game was not long enough to be a film, and they wanted it to be an actual film. So they were like, we'll just put these two films together, and we'll add 4 erroneous lines, making it seem like Diaboromon knows about and cares about Willis, even though he doesn't.
Yeah.
That Willis means absolutely nothing to our War Game.
Yep.
And that's one of the big reasons that I always, like, when people talk about Digimon the movie, I'm like, oh, are you talking about our war game or the O2 movie? Because they are not the same film.
Yeah.
They aren't the same thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that was
I haven't watched
neat.
either of them in a long time, so.
That's fair. I really like our war game. That
Yeah,
movie
I remember liking
has a bit of a... It's not my favorite Digimon movie of all time, but it's probably like my second or third favorite Digimon film.
Ooh, my favorite is actually, oh gosh, what's the full name? It's the one that came after Tri. It's Digimon Adventure
Kizuna?
Last Evolution Kaizuna or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, Kizuna, I haven't watched that one either. But...
That's honestly one of my favorite, probably movies in general. I only saw it once, so I
Was
don't
that
know
not
if it holds up.
linked to the Tri movies?
I think it is. That's the problem with it, is that you need some of the Tri knowledge.
The context from Tri and the Tri, like, series. There are like 5 Tri movies, right? And like
6.
3 of them suck?
3. Try like at least 5.
Oh, is it like all of them?
Like,
My bad.
really, like, the ending was really good, and I think there was like one section of either the 3rd or 4th movie that I thought was pretty good. Everything else was just like, ugh.
I need to watch them at some point, probably. They include Alphamon, though, right?
Yes.
Well, as you recently watched, Alphamon is my favorite Digimon of all time.
Yeah, no,
and
Alphamon's
after
great.
they butchered... Oh, is he great in them?
No, I'm just saying in general. I don't
Yeah.
remember if he does that much
I
in
like
the
it.
movies.
Dude, I'm worried, right? Because in Cyber Sleuth, I don't know if you remember or paid attention when you played them, but they butcher Alphamon, and it infuriates me.
Oh, really?
So I'm so worried about watching something that involves Alphamon that is trash, because I'm like, please don't do my boy like this.
I don't remember, like, I remember
So when you
Alphamon being
played
there, but I
Cyber
don't
Sleuth-
remember, like, what he does, so...
When you played Cyber Sleuth, do you remember the blonde lady, Kyoko? Like the person
No,
that you're
I
working
did not.
under?
I basically assume that I've never played Cyber Sleuth.
Okay, never mind. Well, Kyoko is the person that you work under through the whole game. She's part of the reason that the game feels so bloated with text, because she talks about random stuff that does not matter, that no one cares about, that doesn't even, like, really relate to the overarching story at all. She makes awful coffee and puts, like, mayonnaise and other random stuff in it. It's like, hey, drink this, and then people, like, die when they drink it, essentially, like, off-screen.
Fun.
Yeah, so she's an awful recurring joke and exposition machine, and it's terrible. And then in the last, like, 3 chapters of the game, they're like, by the way, she's Alphamon. She was Alphamon.
Oh my
the
gosh,
entire
that's
time.
terrible. That sounds awful.
Yeah, it's awful. It's terrible, and I hate it, and it's the worst thing ever. And I'm like, why
Wow.
would you do this? Like, the best. I was like, if Alphamon was her partner Digimon, and they were like, look, her partner was one of the Royal Knights the entire time, I would be like, okay, fine, whatever. She's a main character. She has one of the Royal Knights as a partner. But they are straight up like, she is Alphamon. Alphamon merged with this human, and basically Alphamon's personality became this human's personality as a result.
Oh my
and I'm
gosh.
like, yeah, I hate that. I hate that a lot. That's awful. Why would you do that to one of the, like, coolest Digimon, like, in the franchise, lore-wise, etc.? Why would you, like, ruin them like this?
Yeah.
Here goes.
And so now I'm like, anytime Alphamon is in something, I'm like, please just don't be bad. Just don't like ruin him.
Yeah, I don't think Tri does. I don't remember a lot of the specifics. I remember the specifics of why I don't like Tri, and I don't remember Alphamon being a part of any of those reasons. But I also don't remember him, like, doing that much. But I could be wrong on that.
All I've seen is the clip where he, like, grabs Birdramon by the neck and then explodes Kabuterimon. That's, like, all I know about it. And I'm like, oh, well, he's destroying them. That's pretty cool. It
Yeah.
makes sense that they would include Alphamon, because Omnimon's name is Omegamon in Japan. They go hand in hand.
Yeah.
Alpha and Omega.
But-
So it makes sense that when you're doing, like, anything with adventure, you'd probably lean towards, we should probably include Alphamon, because he goes with Omnimon.
Yeah,
Crush
yep,
them all.
absolutely. But yeah, I mean,
I'm on it.
Kazuna is like, I loved that movie.
Maybe I'll finally get myself to watch him.
Yeah.
I'm going to, right now, as soon as I get, like, I'm just waiting to, like, for, like, a flip to switch where I'm like, I need something to binge watch right now. But
Yeah.
I've been, like, really busy, so I haven't. But as soon as I hit that, I'm trying to aim at Overlord, because Ainz was announced for Anime Villainous next
yep.
expansion. And, I watched the first 3 seasons and I liked them, but I never watched the 4th season. And so I was like, you know what? I should rewatch, because it's only like, each season is like 13 episodes, so it's like a 40, 50 episode watch.
Okay.
And I've been told the 4th season was like especially good. So I want to rewatch Overlord and then watch that 4th season, because I didn't love Overlord when I watched it, but I liked it. I was like, oh, this was worth my time, basically. There were times in Overlord where I was like, this isn't really worth my time. But there were other times in Overlord where I was like, oh, this is worth my time. This is a good part.
Okay.
So
Fair
I
enough.
wanna rewatch that and get that see that 4th season and see if it's all it's cracked up to be.
Yeah, I've done a bad job of just watching things in general. I've been trying, but man, I picked back up Monster, the anime.
Fighting
I
is
was
what I do.
starting to watch that, and then I'd like put it down for a long time, and I've been trying to watch it more consistently. It's like 70 episodes long, and I think I just watched episode like 38 this morning, so I still have a ways to go.
That's not too bad though. You're past half.
Yeah,
You said 70 and you're at like 38.
yeah. But like I feel like my progress has been like so slow, and then like I've had it on my mind, similar for like anime villainous reasons. It was just like, oh, maybe I'll watch like Black Butler, maybe I'll like look at like Sailor Moon. And it's just like none of that has started. Like I
Sailor,
have
for
not...
anime villainous purposes, if you want to watch Sailor Moon, I think it's just like Queen Beryl's stuff is like 50 episodes.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. But like,
Thanks.
yeah, I haven't.
I can tell you're really
Like,
focused
watch
on the
anything.
conversation whenever I see slow animation in the fight. Like, that was the slowest heal. Mercedes was like, feel it all.
I think the game actually lagged a little bit there too, as well. I
Oh, well, that sounds like the Nintendo Switch to me.
I noticed right after the combat, or like
Do you ever,
I moved
wait a minute. Before we move on to this next conversation topic, I did want to say, favorite Digimon movie, which you might remember because I mentioned it in that top 10, Digimon X Evolution. I doubt you've ever seen it.
No,
it's
I haven't.
on YouTube. It's like 30, 40 minutes. I
Right?
recommend
Yeah, you
just
did
watching it
mention
one night.
that.
Yeah, I don't know if you'd like it or not, to be completely honest, but as a Digimon fan, I think you'll appreciate it. You should,
Okay.
like, just give it a you should give it a view sometime. It's a really easy, like, I looked it up on YouTube after I made the video. There's like an HD quality version of it on YouTube. You just watch. It's like 40 minutes. The whole thing is there.
Oh wow, yeah,
I would,
that's not long at all.
I would really recommend just like putting it on one time when you're eating dinner or something.
Okay.
It is sub only. They never dubbed it, so you do have to like be able to read
That's
as
fine.
you're watching it.
Oh my gosh, that I don't know why that brought me to remembering one of the hard parts of Digimon Adventure Tri is I'm so used to the dub because that's like what I grew up with. So it's like
Yeah,
I want the dub, but like in the sub they use Butterfly like the song a lot in various like times, whether it's like the opening, whether it's like backing thing, and like in the dub that music gets replaced with other things that are just way worse. That's like not Butterfly. And I'm like,
Yeah, Digimon does that a lot.
yeah.
Even
And-
in the originals.
I forget. I think I did
don't
end up
know.
watching dub, but I think there were certain moments where I'm like, I'm gonna go back and watch this in sub just so I can like get like the good music.
I'm pretty sure. I think what happened is back when they were originally dubbing like 01 and 02 and stuff, I think it cost more to use those tracks instead of to make their own
Oh wow.
when licensing and whatnot. So they were just like, no, we'll just throw in our own music and save some money. And now it's, I don't know if it's still like cheaper or not. And also I might be wrong. Someone in chat might be like, that's not actually what happened. And if that's the case, then I'm just misinformed. So I'm being clear right now. I might be misinformed. If I am, please correct me. But like now it might be a matter of, it doesn't matter if it's cheaper or not. We need to uphold the nostalgia,
Yeah.
which is stupid. Because Butterfly is great.
Yeah, it's so good. And that's part of, I think, gosh, I'm trying to think, but I feel like that's part of what made the ending so good because, like, it used Butterfly as, like, a theme. I forget if it was, like, during a battle or something like that, but, like, it was just such, like, a perfect, like, final song to hear, and I don't remember. Maybe that was the one time they did use in the dub, but I don't think so. Well, I could be
I don't know.
misremembering.
I
But
should
I
watch
remember
those
having to
movies.
struggle with, like, how do I watch this? It was like, I want to watch dub, but I feel like it's probably better in sub.
Yeah, that's fair. I was gonna say before we got on that tangent.
Yeah.
You ever get annoyed by people who are unwilling to admit that the Switch is like weak hardware-wise?
I mean, I don't get into a lot of conversations where that becomes like an argument, but I would be annoyed if that was something I heard a lot because it is, yeah, it just doesn't run games the same way. Like,
Yeah. It comes up in my Discord every now and then. Sometimes it's a conversation I'm a part of. Sometimes I'm just an observer because I don't interact with my Discord a ton. I look at it every now and then, mostly to make sure that, like, I'm okay with what's happening in it, you know, because it's got my name on it.
yeah,
I have Raptor and Wolfen, who are like my Twitch mods. They're way more active in the Discord, so I basically just trust in them to make sure nothing is going super wrong. But I do pop in every now and then so I can be like, first of all, to interact with my fans, because that's just a nice thing to do. I like
absolutely.
interacting with people who watch my content, but also to make sure that my Discord is like kind of on the up and up, that it's not like someone random joins and is like, oh my goodness, Chaos is like, Discord is like, he allows stuff like this.
Yeah.
It's degenerate, etc. So I try and make sure something like that isn't happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
But every now and then I see some people who are just like, man, I hate when people say like, the Switch is actually like really good. You don't know what you're talking about. Like people who say that Switch just are stupid. I'm like, no, you're the idiot. Like
Yeah.
I've played so many Switch games and they run worse than games I play on my PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Sometimes they run worse than games I play on my PlayStation 3 when I have to go back and play PS3 games because they're not available anywhere else.
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah, but I'm just like, listen, man. The thing is like, you can like the Switch and all, but like,
Yeah.
you can also admit its faults. Like, I also like the Switch. I play stuff on the Switch, and
Yeah,
I
it has fun
compliment the
games.
Switch on good games. Yeah, like I'm over here doing content for my friend's channel for Three Houses because Three Houses is that fun. But like the thing, like, it just can't run stuff, and that's really annoying, especially on exclusives.
Yeah.
Like SMT5. When I played SMT5, apparently this new remaster is being put on other consoles. SMT5 is not good
Oh.
enough to get me to buy it again, so I don't care. But like, I had to play SMT5 on the Switch because it was only on the Switch. And when I was playing it, boy howdy, monsters would like roam around in the overworld and whatnot. And
That was just food stuff.
from a distance, they would be moving at 3 frames a second.
Wow.
It was awful. Like when you were far away, when they started to load in, they would move like a slideshow presentation. And I was like, this is insane. Like Atlas released this like this,
You've done me
like
a great
on the
service.
Switch. This is terrible. This should be on a PlayStation or something.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't... Any game that is, like, multi-platform, I just get on PS5 now. Or unless it's, like, on Game Pass. Switch is just reserved for exclusives at this point, I think. And
I think
haven't
I
had
would-
too much bad luck with that, but...
I think if I would use the Switch to go places more, I might
Yeah.
get, like, on PlayStation 5, I have, like, Enter the Gungeon and Slay the Spire. That's something I might consider if I actually, like, went out and had my Switch with me more. I might be like, you know what, I should have Slay the Spire on my Switch, because then I can play that portably. But Slay the Spire is an indie game that is bare minimum graphics.
Yeah,
So, like, who cares? But, like, I'm all for, like, a game doesn't have to look like Final Fantasy VII Remake to be good. Like, your graphics do not have to be pristine. My
Yeah.
favorite game of all time is Tales of Xillia. It's a PlayStation 3 game, and sometimes it looks like it could even run on the PS2 at sometimes. But the graphics are still good for what they are, and they work. And it doesn't, like, lag horribly or whatnot in the middle of combat.
Yeah.
But then I play like Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity on the Switch, and then I have Urbosa do a move where she drops 3 lightning bolts, and my frames drop down to like 12 a second. And I'm like, listen, man, this isn't okay. You make too much money for this to be okay.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. I decided I'm gonna do these stat ups before I forget about them.
Disgusting.
You're
You're not even in the last 3 chapters, and you're considering using stat ups? Unbelievable.
I use them. Where's... Oh,
Give them
gosh.
all to Flame. That's a good idea.
Dex. I was like, first one's Dex. I was like, who needs to hit more? Hilda actually has low Dex, surprisingly. Oh, I'll give it to Felix. Felix uses axes. He doesn't need the help, but like, you know.
Hilda is primarily an axe unit. Why are you surprised she has low dex and thus accuracy?
I don't know if I'm surprised by it, but
That's fair.
gotta remember that. So, alright, there. Get your 1 Dex. But yeah, Hilda isn't using axes
is-
as much, so...
Hey, listen, we can talk about the stuff that's good about it, but I'm also going to criticize it. This menuing system, especially for just using these,
Oh, I know.
makes me want to barf.
Yep. They,
Why can you not just hit you? You should just be able to, you're in the convoy, hit use,
Yep.
and then it brings up a list of all your characters, and you click on the character you want.
Yep.
That's so simple.
I-
It would make it so clean.
I'm
Or even switching to the characters like with L&R right now, and then
Yeah.
just hitting use instead of having to put it in their inventory, go to another menu, hit use there, and then go back. That's so dumb.
Yeah. I do think they did make that better for Fire Emblem Engage. The menus and
That's
stuff
nice.
is a lot better for that.
That's nice to hear. Menuing, I think we talked about this in a previous one of these, but menuing in Three Houses is one of my least favorite things about it.
Yeah.
It's just, it feels like there's so much info. It's hard to like really know what you're looking for. Like, what were you looking at right there? Like a general statistics screen? Why do I need Ash's height and weight on that screen?
Yeah, that's
that
fair.
should be on a different screen so there's less info when I'm just trying to look at his speed stat.
All right, for what it's worth, I actually think you can use LNR to go between the menus, so that is, I guess, partially me, but still.
It's still bad.
You should
and,
still be
like,
able to just use it from the
Yeah, it's
here.
super clunky.
resistance.
You should just be able to hit use here, and because you're on a net, it should use it on a net.
Yeah. Who needs resistance?
Like, look at this. This is too much information on a single screen.
Yeah, like I'm only looking at the
Try to
bottom left.
find
That's
something.
literally the only thing I'm looking at. Is like, all right, who needs wow.
Age,
Dimitri.
height, affiliation. In Three
Look at
Hopes,
this.
you have like L and R scrolling on a screen like that, and each one is different for here are your abilities. Here's like your weapons.
Yeah.
Here's your classes. Like those should all be separate, not just one giant screen of info overload.
Yeah. Okay, so I can do it that way. But you're forgetting, it needs a separate thing for skills, which there's clearly not enough room, and all your skill levels. A separate one for classes, a separate one for more classes, and then a separate one for more notes.
Why is there classes 1 and classes 2? Why doesn't it just scroll up and down? I don't understand.
That would be too hard. You can't scroll on this. Like, what do you want them to do here?
What are you using the right stick for right now?
It's just for decoration.
This really is like
Wow, there's so
Three
many supports.
Houses might be one of my favorite poorly put together games of all time.
Yeah.
It's so good, but like every time I look at it, I just find more things to be like, why would you do it like this instead of like a normal game developer?
Yeah, it's a little weird, but who knows? I would like to do these
Still a good
supports
game.
before getting into the fight because I don't remember
Yeah,
if support
okay.
points roll over or not.
Go for it.
Hilda. It's Hilda time. Oh, internet. I was gonna say, for me, it was between Hilda and internet. Why not both?